calm before the storm, a quiet or peaceful period before a period during which there is great activity, argument, or difficulty. This describes this section of the story perfectly. Well, I guess it's a bit more of a sunrise before the eclipse, but I guess that doesn't really work since an eclipse can happen during any time of the day, but like still kind of works. Anyway, my name is Abisu and welcome to my blind review of Berserk.
Dick limousine, man, I need a vaccine cause I'm hotter than average. I go like that gadget and alien NASA. I'm out of this planet, adjusting to all of the tracks that you jamming on radio stations. A tragic assassin, I'm holding back all of my laughs and I swear 30% of me trying ain't fair. Fuck with a nigga and see.
Today we're going to be taking a look at the middle section of the Golden Age arc. The exact chapters covered in this video are 27 through to 56. Also, recently, since I've had more time than before, I will actually shorten the Golden Age arc reviews to 3 episodes. So the next one's going to be big and juicy, just like my balls. Anyways. It's just so fucking terrible. Anyways, let's get into the story. And let me tell you real quick why I love Berserk so much already. I was away from the story for about a month, and when I come back, it takes me about 10 pages for the story to start giving me goosebumps. I mean, just look at the way Griffith stares down the Chode guy. Like, he knows exactly what he's plotting. Like, it's such an intense moment just to start the section. And just to continue the theme of genitalia in this video, I want to bring up the fact that Miura had Casca go through period cramps. Like, I'm shook. Not because, like, you know, she's a woman and has cramps, but because for once it's actually something that comes up in an anime. Like, it never happens. It's not something you ever see explored in an anime. Like, why has no one talked about this before? Pretty much every anime or manga has a female character. You know, at least one of them. Like, it's not something that, like, you know, obviously needs to be shoved in your face. But I'm just wondering, why is it, like, never mentioned? Why is it never part of the story, in a way? And it actually helps to drive the plot in this case, too. The Hawks are in battle as always, and, you know, Casca is absolutely getting her shit clapped, you know, since she's already frail from the period. You know, Guts has to come in, save her, and that's when they get taken out of action for a while. You know, I really wondered how the Hawks would manage without their 2 best fighters, but, you know, I'm sure they'd be fine. And by taken out, I mean these motherfuckers fall off a cliff and almost die. Surprisingly, they come out of it not hurt at all. Then, you know, a minor injury to Guts. You know, nothing a legend like him can't power through. Now, this is the section I've probably enjoyed the most. And not because I got to see titties, I'll have your mum for that, but because I got to see Guts and Casca become better friends. I've been waiting for this for so long, like, I just want them to be good friends, since I know they will become that sooner or later. So the way this really goes is that Casca talks to Guts about her past and how she came to the Hawks, you know, and shit like that. We find out that Griffith has saved her in the past from becoming a victim. You know, he saved her from a man who basically she was sold to, and he jumped on top of her, and, you know, I'm guessing you know what his intentions were already. Then Griffith appears and saves her. So he quite literally was the knight, you know, on a white horse for her. And then she joined him, and, you know, she's been basically worshipping him ever since. To be fair, I thought Casca joined Hawks a lot early on, like, you know, when there were just only a few people. But it seems like, you know, they had a nice little group of thieves going by the time she joined. Okay, I don't know what the fuck Miura was thinking, but this is the most 90s panel I've ever seen. You know, Griffith with his face up in the sky, him looking all dramatic and shit. Honestly, it made me laugh during, you know, a serious scene. Nothing to do with the story, I guess, but it just aged badly. Oh god, fucking 90s in the music videos. You know, I find it crazy how Casca and Guts are, like, in a really similar position. They both were at a low point, and then came across Griffith. You know, Griffith takes them in and makes their life a whole lot better. And all of this only really came to mind since Casca swore to be Griffith's sword the same way Guts has said the same thing earlier on in this arc. You know, not seeing Casca in the future makes me think something bad happens. But I'll keep this topic for later when I talk about my predictions. So I'll just mention that later on in the video. But this scene is what really cemented Griffith as, like, a low-key psycho in my eyes. He will literally do anything for his dream. He slept with this old, ugly ass dude who's also a pedophile, by the way. I understand that, like, he's done it to help his men and make everyone survive, but I honestly doubt I'd do the same. I don't know, it just kind of weirded me out. But, like, I also understand why he did it, and, like, I still kind of respect him for it, but I don't know. At the end of the day, the dude just basically became a victim since, you know, he's only a child at this point. And this man is like 30 plus. So yeah, moving on from that. Casca and Guts get their bonding moment ruined and they get found by the enemy. You know, the one they were having a battle with. And, you know, they try and escape. shit like that, but they still end up being caught in an ambush. And this is where some like real good action happens. I just love how Miura has definitely thought through like all of this like really carefully. And I just enjoyed like the different fighting styles that Guts and Casca have. Casca has this elegant fighting style where she like methodically dismantles her opponents, and then Guts just provides a great contrast in being just majority brawl and just cutting through his opponents and their armor. You know, I just really enjoyed seeing Casca's fighting style. It was really nice and just so satisfying to watch. It was watching like a master butcher just dismantle like an animal carcass. Well, we don't get to see too much of that because Guts does the heroic thing and lets Casca escape and go get help whilst he stays and battles the rest of them. You know, as expected, she runs off and ends up running into the Hawks later on. Also, did I tell you that they were thinking of leaving them behind? I didn't. Well, they were. And that would have been so out of character for the Hawks to do. Like, they would never just leave Casca or Guts. So whilst Casca is getting help, Guts is left to fend off 100 men whilst being injured and only having one arm to do so. Bro, and you just know Guts is about to go berserk. Roll the title scheme. But don't. Well, he does go absolutely fucking crazy. Like, this man is just fucking bonkers, bro. Like, I don't know what to say. He managed to kill 100 men whilst being in no shape to fight. This man is truly a legend when it comes to combat. And by the time the Hawks arrive, he's already beating the shit out of everyone. It's just absolutely fucking crazy. After all of this, Griffith tells us how he's happy about the two of them being safe. And somehow this makes Casca like the happiest she's ever been. I swear, bro, this bitch has fallen too hard for Griffith. There is no way this doesn't turn sour sooner or later. Like, being too passionate about someone like him will only lead to pain, in my opinion. Damn, Judo got some medicine and shit. And apparently I've been pronouncing his name wrong. And also, like, it's a dude. Oh my god. Bro, this character has had me so confused when it comes to, like, what he is. He looks like a girl, and I thought his name was pronounced as Judah. I thought he was the same as, like, you know, the one in the Bible. But that's not how you pronounce it, and it's not a girl. Bro, this dude has me too confused. Let's talk more about the medicine that he has. It's Elfcom. And we established this back in Black Swordsman arc. Elfcom is good, but just think about it. Like, how mad would it be if the cum was milked from no one but Puck himself? Like, that would be so mad. That would mean he's already connected to Guts before they even met. You know, a bit of a stretch, but you know, kind of cool at the same time. A little bit of theorizing. Guts on the hill. I feel like I've seen this before. Damn, who knew that Guts could talk all poetic and shit? But ain't he looking like a snack at the same time? Mira went really hard on drawing him muscular as shit. Bro, this man is swole as hell. And he talking all poetic? Honestly, at this point, he might be as sexy as your mum, if not even more. Yo, that was one mean slap by Guts. Bro, he must have knocked off the little booty that she had, like, just completely off. That shit must have stung so bad. Oh, Jesus Christ. Like, imagine your ass being slapped so hard you get some airtime. Ah, fucking hell. Also, Guts, what the fuck? You can't be doing that. Casca worried that Guts will leave? Definitely won't be important later on. Like, at all. Yo, this drawing of the castle goes hard as fuck. I don't think I've talked about Miura's art in this video yet, so you already know I gotta just quickly mention how this shit is just top tier. I can't believe how much he's improved over time. This honestly doesn't look like the same dude who wrote Black Swordsman anymore. So this castle, you know, this fort or whatever it is, apparently can't be brought down, and the big flexman Griffith says he will do it only if, and I quote, if it's an order. Oh my god. Bro, this guy's just too cold. Like, so little respect for these other bum-ass generals. Like, none of them can do it. And Griffith is out here being like, yeah, if it's an order. Oh my god, this one's too cold. Okay, can someone please explain to me who thought that naming an army Purple Rhino Knights was a good idea? This shit sounds so ridiculous. Like, it sounds like a bad high school sports team. Like, who thought that sounded like a bad ass or anything? Like, why is it a certain colour? Rhino Knights sound perfectly good. I kind of like it. But Purple Rhino Knights sounds so fucking lame. And these motherfuckers are meant to be the strongest army in the entire, like, country, continent, or whatever. Just fuck off. There is no way. They're gonna get this shit clapped so easily, because Hawks are next level, and also because they got a dumbass name. Fucking idiots. Like, not only do these guys have a dumbass name, but the general is also just a muscular Humpty Dumpty. I mean, look at this dumbass. How does he not look like this guy? Bro, this man should be in Shrek or some shit. Okay, let's just get to the siege before my brain cells die even more from that. This siege scene is sick. We get almost a kingdom-esque fight, you know, with a ton of people, and then, you know, just to elevate that a bit more, we get some really nice individual fights sprinkled in on top of that later on. The siege is also like low-key 200 IQ. Griffith uses half the army as a diversion to draw out the rhinos from the castle, and then whilst they're gone, Casca and the other half of the Hawks go into the castle to secure it, you know, also clean up whoever is left behind to defend. Bro, this shit too good. And to top that off, we also get a Puck cameo. So this is clearly the best arc in the whole story now. Bro, I miss that little guy so much. I just want him back so bad, bro. Like, just please, I need Puck, please. Oh, yo, another part of this, like, little middle section I really want to mention is just that really pathetic dude who's weak as shit. But he keeps on bringing up these techniques that have been passed down generation by generation in this family for, like, hundreds of years. I don't know why with that. I just found that shit really fucking funny. Like, every time you see him, it's some new technique. It's been passed down for like 500 years and no one's ever fucking heard of it or anything. It's just a great joke, Miura. I really enjoyed that one. Remember how I mentioned there were individual fights? They go hard. The 1v1 that Guts and Humpty Dumpty have is so good. She gets so intense. Guts breaks his sword and then guess who's there to save him? Fucking Zodd. Out of anyone, I didn't expect to see him back so early on. Bro, and he throws his fucking sword to save Guts from like half a kilometer away. And that is just like nuts. And that's like what helps Guts win the fight. And then Casca does something even more incredible. I mean, just look at this move. What is this? Like, no matter what it is, it's incredible. This shit is so good. Like, what the fuck? Just another incredible action scene by Miura. This was just all so well done. And then he added a tiny bit more character to Griffith. You know the old man he had to sleep with for the money like years ago, like way back. Chances have it is that he's the same general behind this fort, and for some reason Griffith actually lets him live after, you know, having a perfect chance to get rid of him, and he says he doesn't hold a grudge against him. Bro, I don't know. I was so sure that he would have killed him, but he didn't. I don't know, just kind of strange to me. I kind of wish he would have. And then to, you know, top off the shock factor, this section ends in Zodd overlooking the battlefield, and he says this: their fall will be soon. Bro, what? Is shit about to go down this soon? Like, for real. All of my money for real. Oh, look. Another plan to assassinate Griffith. Bro, these motherfuckers just don't learn, do they? Like, if it doesn't work once, what makes you think it would work twice? And the Queen is in on this too, just cause Griffith killed Julius. Bro, she's saying she's in love with him, but like, you only ever spent time with him because you needed some dick. You spent time with him for attention, and all of a sudden you're telling me you're in love with him for no apparent reason. Bro, I swear, these medieval women. Bro, look at the boys! Look at the drip! Holy shit! Bro, these motherfuckers have really pulled up here looking like this. Bro, they're gonna steal all the women from all these noble idiots. Oh my god. I really wish I was that dripped out. Bro, life would have been so much easier if I was. Bro, I love this. Oh my god. Guts compliments Casca. I just can't. I love seeing them as friends so much. I feel like there's a little bit more tension than, you know, just friends. But like, the perfect amount for, you know, a great fun dynamic where they're like just close friends. Like, personally, I really doubt they will ever get together like anytime soon, or perhaps like ever. But, you know, we'll speak more on that during the predictions for the future. Also, Griffith gets killed, but, you know, there is no way he actually would have died. And oh look, yet again, he played an Uno reverse card and killed all the people who wanted him dead. Fuck talking about Griffith and his assassination. Not as interesting as Guts leaving the Hawks. Oh well, as their new name would call them, the Phoenix. They're also all nobles now, so like you would think there is no point of the Guts leaving, right? Like they have more than a comfortable life during peaceful times, so why would Guts want to leave now? And the explanation is really simple. This is because of the path Guts wants to take in life. Right now all he's doing is following Griffith, and therefore he just can't be an equal to him. He can't be someone who can stand next to him or, you know, just be his friend. I can both respect that, but I also think it's so fucking dumb. Like what Griffith said at the fountain, to me it was a betrayal of what they've lived through up to now. But what Guts sees is almost like a challenge for him to rise up and be next to him. How mesmerized by Griffith do you have to be to think that? This is just gonna end so bad for him. Like, I just know. But like, these last few chapters of the section really are just the most interesting. Guts basically admits to liking Casca, and I'm sure she kinda, like, she low-key likes him too, but Guts is just too insecure to ask her to come with him, and that's probably due to feeling inferior to Griffith right now, which is kind of questionable. More on that in a second. But this is just so sad to see Guts be like this vulnerable about his own happiness and not be able to chase what he truly wants right now. So as the last way of trying to keep Guts in the Hawks, they brought Griffith over to try and convince him. And how's he gonna do it this time? Bro, you guessed it, a fight yet again. Bro, I told you that fight on the hill would come back. But sadly, this didn't end up being as much of a fight as a quick exchange, because Guts destroys Griffith so hard. And what I find really interesting, and I saw this online because I'm not actually smart enough to think of this myself, but the way the scenes are illustrated, in the first fight, Griffith is up above Guts, signifying how he's stronger than him. But in this exchange, right from the start, we see Guts take the high stance, you know, thus showing us how he rose above Griffith. Remember Charlotte? Well, basically, Berserk turns into a hentai for like half a chapter as Griffith claps her cheeks. You know, during all of this, Miura also has to play with feelings by showing a glimpse of Casca, who's completely clueless about what Griffith is up to now. And then also he shows a glimpse of Guts and how he's on Griffith's mind. But what annoys me the most is how Griffith he just gets caught because of bad design. Like honestly, who thought that making keyholes that you can look through was a good idea? Like come on, that's so dumb. Like I know this is like medieval times and like they had like limited technology, but surely there's like a way to just keep your privacy like, you know, more private, I guess. And whilst all of that is going on, bro, Guts meets Overlord himself. Overlord from the hit series Overlord. Oh my god. Bro, I just can't escape isekais no matter where I go. Like, what the fuck? Well, you know, at least Skull Knight is kind of cool. It tells us about the eclipse, which I've heard about before. It's some big-ass event where shit goes down, I think. And this is, like, such, like, a weird exchange, because Skull Knight just appears, tells us about the eclipse, and then disappears. Like, what? Like, it's such, like, a weird little encounter. Back to our boy Griffith, who is now actually being tortured. Yep. And all of this is because the king is actually a gross creature. Remember how I told you that I thought he would end up being nice? Well, in the end, I should have really stuck to my gut and just trusted it that the design was correct and that this guy is fucking disgusting. You know, I guess him torturing Griffith, you know, Griffith kind of was asking for it, I guess. I don't know, not really. You know, he had sex with the princess whilst being in no position to do so. But the reasoning the king has behind all of this is that he wanted to do it himself. What? Oh my god, this is so fucking disgusting. Like, just an incest freak. He tortures Griffith for a while. He goes to try and just do despicable things to his daughter. Like, what is he on? This man walks into her room whilst she's asleep and starts taking her clothes off and stuff. And he tries to do some horrible things to her. Like, I don't want to talk about this, but this guy is just some twisted fucking creature. Like, this guy just isn't human anymore. Oh god, what the fuck. Anyways, whilst reading this last little section, I legit thought to myself, oh, Griffith is being tortured and he still has the bailiff on him. Like, there's no way that's a good combo. Guess what happened right after? But I literally turned the page and he loses it. So, you know, I guess we won't see him turn into the big baddie just yet. But I'm 90% sure the bailiff will make its way back to him one way or another. And this is where I ended reading. You know, whilst the first bit of the Golden Age arc started at 100 and, you know, worked its way down, this section definitely started at 0 and ended at 100. I don't have the words for what the fuck happened at the end. This is where I want to take the time and cast some predictions as to what's going to happen in, you know, the last section of Golden Age. First of all, I definitely think Casca is dying in this next bit. I've known of her eventual death since the start, really, because of some videos I've watched on Berserk. Like, I'm assuming she's gonna die during the eclipse. Also, what I think the eclipse might end up being is, you know, the big strong demons, you know, mega mind and shit, they will come to Earth and probably slaughter a bunch of people. And, you know, perhaps that's where Griffith turns into one of them by sacrificing all of the hawks, like for his own self-gain. Because we've seen with the Count Fat Cunt from Black Swordsman, how he sacrificed only one person important to him and he gained not that much power. So I feel like if Griffith sacrifices all of the hawks and probably Casca at the same time, that's when he becomes super powerful. And perhaps this is where Guts has another fight with him, and, you know, I could see him losing his arm in the fight, or perhaps when, you know, the souls from hell come and take him, perhaps they grab him by the arm and he cuts off the arm to, like, preserve himself. You know, I think that's quite a plausible scenario of what could happen. I also think that Griffith is definitely going to be tortured until the eclipse, which is about a year from where I'm at the manga right now. I feel bad for him, but that will just so definitely happen. I feel like he's gonna get tortured for a year and he's gonna lose his humanity during that, and that's what's gonna lead him to using the Baler. Well, that's just a theory, a manga theory, and let's move on. Fuck that. Honestly, I've had no real complaints with this part. It was a bit slower and, you know, overall, like, I guess less happened in a way. But that's all because this is basically calm before the storm. I think the end bit will definitely go hard. And, you know, this small build-up will pay off tenfold. The art is still spectacular, you know, the same old from other videos. I have less and less to complain about. What can be said though is that currently Miura masterfully set up all the pieces to tear them down in a painful manner. I'm about as emotionally connected to Hawks as I ever will be, and I know for a fact Miura is not gonna let that slide. I'm in your palm, Miura. Let's see where you will take me. And to join me on this journey, you would have to subscribe. I will try and get out the next part as quickly as possible. It might be a while since I have to read 50 chapters and then, you know, I have to write a script for all of that. So actually the video might end up being long as fuck, but I think it just works better overall. Watch Bakuman, subscribe, and peace.